The alien vessel hovered silently in the darkness of space, its crystalline hull gleaming under distant starlight. Inside the command center of the Eternal Light, Captain Dano adjusted his breathing apparatus and focused all four of his eyes on the main viewscreen. "Unknown ship detected entering our territory, Captain," reported Officer Tay, her slender fingers moving rapidly across the control panel. Dano's upper eyes narrowed. "Classification? Unable to determine. Design matches nothing in our database." Tay paused. "Energy readings suggest military capabilities. The Galactic Confederation had ruled this sector for centuries. As representatives of the 7 most advanced species in known space, they maintained strict control over who entered their territory." Captain Dano, a respected member of the Nithari species, had overseen first contact situations before. They usually ended with the newcomers pledging allegiance to the Confederation. "Prepare greeting protocols," Dano ordered. "And quietly bring weapons systems online." The unknown vessel was angular and utilitarian in design, with visible weapon ports along its hull. It moved with purpose, not the hesitation typical of exploratory craft. "They're hailing us, Captain," said Communications Officer Min. On screen. The viewscreen flickered to life, revealing a human woman with short black hair and a blue uniform adorned with silver markings. "This is Commander Park of the United Earthship Defiant. We request safe passage through this sector." Captain Dano straightened his ceremonial collar. These humans appeared primitive, only 2 eyes, fragile bodies, and technology that seemed crude compared to Confederation standards. "I am Captain Dano of the Galactic Confederation. You have entered our space without authorization. Power down your engines and prepare for inspection." Commander Park's expression remained neutral. "I appreciate your greeting, Captain, but the Defiant is a sovereign vessel of Earth. While we respect your territorial claims, we cannot submit to inspection." Dano felt his mandibles twitch in irritation. Primitive species always proved difficult until they understood their place. "Our protocols are non-negotiable. The Confederation has maintained peace in this sector for 1,000 years through strict adherence to our laws." On the bridge of the Defiant, Commander Park exchanged glances with her first officer. "Lieutenant Kim," she said quietly, "are they scanning us?" The young officer checked his console. "Yes, Commander. Attempting to penetrate our outer hull. Their technology is advanced but predictable. Deployed basic countermeasures. Nothing that might seem aggressive." Kim pressed several controls, and the Defiant's defensive systems subtly shifted, creating a barrier that blocked the alien scans. On the Eternal Light, the sudden change did not go unnoticed. "Captain," exclaimed Science Officer Ju. "Their shields just adapted. Our scans can no longer penetrate their hull." Dano's upper eyes blinked rapidly in surprise. "Impossible. Their technology appears primitive." "Sir, I'm detecting energy signatures unlike anything in our database," Ju continued, confusion evident in his voice. "Their power core readings suggest capabilities far beyond their apparent technological level." The alien captain turned back to the viewscreen, studying the human commander with new interest. "Your vessel possesses unexpected capabilities, Commander Park. The Defiant is a standard protection cruiser, Captain Dano. One of many in Earth's defensive fleet." Dano's translator struggled to convey his disbelief. "You claim this is merely a common vessel? Our readings suggest otherwise." Commander Park maintained her diplomatic tone. "We have no hostile intentions. We merely wish to pass through this region of space." Dano's mandibles clicked as he considered his options. These humans were clearly more advanced than they appeared. Proceeding carefully would be wise. "I must consult with Confederation authorities," he finally said. "Maintain your position." After ending the transmission, Dano immediately called for reinforcements. "Send an urgent message to command. Request 3 warships to my location immediately. We have encountered a potentially dangerous new species." Meanwhile, on the Defiant, Commander Park ordered a tight beam transmission to Earth Command. We've made first contact with a species called the Galactic Confederation. They appear technologically advanced but have underestimated our capabilities. The situation is tense but controlled. Requesting diplomatic guidance. As both ships maintained their positions, quiet preparations continued on each vessel. The humans readied defensive systems while appearing peaceful. The aliens summoned reinforcements while pretending to merely consult their authorities. The stars watched silently as two civilizations, each powerful in their own right, circled one another cautiously, neither yet realizing how this first encounter would forever change the balance of power in the galaxy. 3 hours passed as the human and alien vessels faced each other in the emptiness of space. Commander Park stood at the large window of her private quarters, hands clasped behind her back. The alien ship's crystalline structure reflected the light of a distant sun, creating rainbow patterns across its surface. "Commander," Lieutenant Kim's voice came through the communication system. "3 Confederation ships have just appeared at the edge of our sensor range." Park nodded, though no one could see her. "I'll be right there." When she returned to the bridge, the main screen showed 3 large warships approaching. Their organic design suggested they were grown rather than built, with flowing lines and translucent sections that pulsed with inner light. "Message from Captain Dono," reported Communications Officer June. The alien captain's face appeared on screen. All 4 of his eyes seemed focused on Park with new intensity. "Commander Park. As you can see, Confederation reinforcements have arrived. Your situation has become precarious. I strongly suggest you reconsider your position on inspection." Park sat calmly in her command chair. "Captain Dono, my position remains unchanged. The Defiant is a sovereign vessel of Earth. We have entered your territory with peaceful intentions and request safe passage." Dono's upper eyes narrowed. "Your continued resistance suggests you have something to hide." "Not at all. We simply operate under different protocols than your Confederation." The alien captain made a clicking sound that the translator didn't convert. "Perhaps your understanding is limited. The Confederation includes 7 of the most advanced species in this galaxy. Our combined knowledge spans thousands of years. Your single planet cannot possibly—" "Captain," Park interrupted gently, "age does not always equate to advancement. Earth united only 80 years ago, but our progress since then has been substantial." On the Confederation flagship, Dono turned to his science officer. "Continue scanning their vessel. I want to know exactly what we're dealing with." Officer Ju looked uncomfortable. "Sir, their countermeasures are still blocking our standard scans. I could attempt a high-energy penetration, but they would certainly detect it." "Do it anyway," Dono ordered. "They're just humans." The scan burst forth from the alien ship, invisible energy washing over the Defiant. Within seconds, alarms sounded on the human bridge. "They're attempting a deep scan," Lieutenant Kim reported. "Very powerful." Commander Park's expression hardened slightly. "Deploy second-level countermeasures." The Defiant's defensive systems activated. A field of energy rippled across the ship's hull, not only blocking the scan but sending feedback through the alien scanning beam. On the Confederation vessel, systems sparked and several screens went dark. "What happened?" Dono demanded. Their defensive field redirected our scan energy back through our own systems," Ju explained, clearly shocked. "It overloaded 3 primary nodes." "Impossible," Dono whispered. "Such technology would require—" "Sir," interrupted his tactical officer, "the human vessel is changing its energy configuration." On the Defiant, Commander Park had ordered a partial power-up of their defensive systems. "Let them see 20% of our shield capacity," she told Lieutenant Kim. "Nothing more." The human ship began to glow slightly as its energy fields became visible. Data streamed into the Confederation ship's sensors. "Captain, their shield capacity." Ju's voice faltered. "Even at what appears to be minimal power, it exceeds our own by a factor of 3. Dono stared at the readings. "How can this be? They'd barely begun exploring space." The Confederation fleet arranged itself in an attack formation around the Defiant. Each alien vessel was larger than the human ship, their organic hulls pulsing with accumulated energy. Commander Park opened a channel. Captain Dono, your positioning could be interpreted as threatening. I assure you this is unnecessary. Your technology concerns us, Commander. Technology that advanced in the hands of an unknown species poses a significant risk to Confederation security. Park's voice remained steady. We have made no aggressive moves. We have merely defended ourselves against your intrusive scans. Dono conferred with the other ship captains through a private channel. Their capabilities exceed our intelligence estimates. We should disable their vessel before they can summon reinforcements. Back on the Defiant, Lieutenant Kim turned to Commander Park. They're charging weapons, Commander. Park remained calm. Send our coordinates and situation report to Earth Command. Priority signal. They're jamming our communications, Commander. Park stood slowly. So that's how it's going to be. She turned to her weapons officer. Lieutenant Han, prepare Defensive Protocol 3. No offensive measures yet. The tension grew as both sides prepared for potential conflict. The humans remained outwardly calm while the alien commanders discussed strategy with increasing urgency. Neither side wanted to fire first, but neither would back down. In the coldness of space, the standoff continued, 4 vessels frozen in position, weapons ready, shields humming with power. The next move would determine whether this first contact ended in peace or became the opening act of an interstellar war. The 4 Confederation warships surrounded the Defiant, their weapons fully charged and targeting systems locked on the human vessel. Inside the Confederation flagship, Captain Dono watched the main screen with all 4 eyes narrowed. Final warning, Commander Park, he transmitted. Power down your vessel and prepare for boarding. If you resist, we will disable your ship by force. On the Defiance bridge, Commander Park's expression remained calm despite the threat. The bridge crew looked to her for guidance, their hands hovering over control panels. Captain Dono, she replied evenly, I understand your concern about unknown technology in your space. However, we cannot allow boarding. I request 1 hour to contact my superiors for instructions. Request denied, came the immediate response. Your communications are blocked. You have 5 minutes to comply. Park turned to her communications officer. Lieutenant June, status of our transmissions? All standard channels are jammed, Commander. They've deployed a wide-spectrum disruption field. She nodded thoughtfully. Switch to quantum entanglement communication. The officers exchanged glances. Using their most advanced communication system would reveal capabilities they had hoped to keep secret. Lieutenant Han at the weapons station spoke quietly. Commander, if we activate QE systems, they'll detect the energy signature. We have no choice, Lieutenant, Park replied. Earth needs to know our situation. As the quantum entanglement communicator activated, the Confederation sensors immediately detected the unusual energy pattern. Captain! Officer Ju called out on the alien flagship. The human vessel is using an unknown communication method. It's bypassing our jamming field completely. Dono slammed his fist against his command chair. Impossible. Begin the disabling sequence. The 3 support vessels moved into attack formation while Park watched calmly on her viewscreen. They're preparing to fire, Commander, reported Lieutenant Kim. Park straightened her uniform and made her decision. Lieutenant Han, activate full defensive shields. Lieutenant June, open a channel to all Confederation vessels. The human ship suddenly lit up as its complete defensive system activated. A shimmering field of energy enveloped the Defiant, pulsing with power that made the sensors on the alien ships overload and reset. By the ancestors, whispered Officer Ju, staring at the readings. Their shield strength, it's beyond our measurement capacity. On the open channel, Commander Park's voice was steady. Captain Dono, I regret that you forced this demonstration. Our defensive capabilities are significantly beyond what you've calculated. Any attack would be ineffective and might trigger our automated defense protocols. As if to emphasize her point, small ports opened along the Defiant's hull, revealing weapon systems that had been concealed beneath the surface plating. Dano's mandibles clicked rapidly in agitation. Bluffing. They must be bluffing. He turned to his weapons officer. Fire a warning shot across their bow. Low power. A beam of green energy shot from the flagship's main cannon, aimed to pass near the human vessel. Before it could complete its path, the Defiant's shields flared briefly. The beam dissipated harmlessly, absorbed completely by the defensive field. Silence fell across the Confederation bridge. That was our heaviest tactical beam, the weapons officer finally said. They absorbed it without strain. Commander Park's face reappeared on their screen. Captain Dano, I will now demonstrate our own capabilities. We will fire a single, minimal power shot between your support vessels. This is not an attack, merely a demonstration. Before Dano could respond, a brilliant blue pulse erupted from the Defiant's forward array. The energy beam passed precisely between two Confederation ships, continuing for several thousand kilometers before dispersing. The wake alone, just the energy bleeding off the main beam, was powerful enough to disrupt the shields of both nearby vessels. Alarms blared throughout the Confederation fleet as systems struggled to comprehend what they had just witnessed. Analysis. Dano demanded. Officer Ju's voice trembled. The energy reading suggests antimatter weaponry, perfectly controlled. Our entire fleet couldn't generate that much power in combined output. Antimatter weaponry is theoretical, Dano protested. No species has successfully weaponized it. The humans apparently have, replied Ju. And that appeared to be a minimal discharge. On the Defiant, Park stood with hands clasped behind her back. Captain Dano, Earth wishes no conflict. We respect your territory and seek only peaceful passage. However, we will defend ourselves if necessary. The message was clear. The Confederation fleet, for all its size and experience, was outmatched by this single human vessel. Dano stared at the screen, mandibles twitching in agitation. Everything he knew about galactic power structures had just been upended. These humans, these newcomers with only 2 eyes and fragile bodies, possessed technology that made his fleet's best weapons look primitive. Stand down weapons, he finally ordered, his voice quiet. Inform Confederation High Command immediately. We have encountered something unexpected. The Confederation fleet retreated to a safe distance, maintaining visual contact with the Defiant while Captain Dano held an emergency meeting with his officers. The mood on the alien flagship was tense as they processed what they had just witnessed. How is this possible? Demanded Dano, pacing the circular command center. Their vessel is smaller than ours. Their species has barely begun interstellar travel. Science Officer Ju studied the sensor data with growing concern. Their technological advancement doesn't follow normal patterns, Captain. Most species develop gradually over centuries. These humans appear to have made extraordinary leaps in just decades. Could their demonstration have been a trick? An illusion? Asked the tactical officer. Ju shook his head. The energy readings were real. Their antimatter containment and directed energy weapons are beyond our capabilities. And their shields. He paused, struggling to find words. Their shields absorbed our strongest beam without strain. On the Defiant, Commander Park received confirmation that their quantum entanglement message had reached Earth. She turned to her first officer. Earth Command acknowledges our situation, Commander, Lieutenant Kim reported. They've dispatched 2 vessels to our location. Estimated arrival time, 15 minutes. Park nodded. Open a channel to the Confederation flagship. When Captain Dano's image appeared on screen, Park spoke with renewed confidence. Captain, I propose we step back from this confrontation and pursue diplomatic discussions instead. 2 additional Earth vessels will arrive shortly to assist with negotiations. Dano's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. More ships? You summoned reinforcements? Standard protocol when communications are jammed, Park explained. I assure you their presence is diplomatic, not aggressive. As the conversation continued, deep space sensors on both fleets detected the telltale distortion of faster-than-light travel. Two massive shapes emerged from the distortion field, their hulls gleaming under the distant starlight. The new arrivals dwarfed the Defiant. Each human vessel was nearly twice its size, with sleek lines and visible weapon emplacements along their hulls. They moved with precision to flank the smaller human ship. On the Confederation flagship, the sensor operator's voice shook as he reported. "Sir, the new human vessels, their energy signatures are significantly stronger than the first ship." Dano stared at the screen in disbelief. "You're saying that first vessel, the one that absorbed our strongest weapons, was actually a small human warship?" "It appears so, Captain." The main screen lit up with a transmission from one of the new arrivals. A stern-faced human man appeared, his uniform adorned with more insignia than Commander Park's. "This is Captain Sung of the United Earthship Indomitable. We received Commander Park's distress call regarding your attempt to forcibly board a sovereign Earth vessel." "Explain yourselves." Dano straightened, trying to maintain dignity despite the situation. "There was a misunderstanding about your vessel's intentions in our territory. We were following standard security protocols." A second face appeared on the split screen, another human captain from the other newly arrived ship. "This is Captain Gill of the Sovereign. Our sensors show your weapons were activated and fired upon the Defiant." "That goes beyond a misunderstanding." Dano felt the balance of power shifting dramatically. What had begun as a routine enforcement of Confederation authority had transformed into a diplomatic crisis with a clearly superior technological force. "We should withdraw completely," whispered his second-in-command. "Return with a larger fleet." "Even our largest fleet might not be enough," Officer Ju responded quietly. "Did you see the weapon ports on those new ships? The energy readings are beyond anything in our records." Captain Sung's voice cut through their whispered conversation. "The Confederation has two options: withdraw your forces and arrange formal diplomatic talks, or persist in your aggression and face consequences." The threat was clear, yet delivered with perfect calm. Dano made the only choice he could. "We will withdraw to a respectful distance. I will contact our High Council immediately regarding diplomatic procedures." As the Confederation ships moved away, urgent transmissions flooded to their homeworlds. The news spread quickly throughout their territory. A new species had appeared, one with technology that made their best warships look primitive. On the Defiant, Commander Park welcomed Captain Sung and Gill via secure communication. "Your timing was perfect," she told them. "How much did Earth Command tell you?" "Only that you encountered an alien coalition that attempted to detain your vessel," Captain Gill replied. "Your handling of the situation was exemplary, Commander." Park smiled slightly. "They underestimated us. A common mistake when meeting humans." Captain Sung nodded. "Speaking of which, the Sovereign and Indomitable have been instructed to reveal certain capabilities if necessary. Earth Command believes this Confederation needs to understand what challenging humanity might mean." As the three human vessels maintained formation, the Confederation leaders gathered in emergency session light years away. The balance of power in this sector of space had shifted overnight, and none of them knew what to expect from these humans with their impossible technology and unwavering confidence. The neutral meeting ground chosen for the historic first conference between humans and the Galactic Confederation was an ancient space station orbiting a gas giant at the edge of disputed territory. Its graceful rings provided a stunning backdrop through the panoramic windows of the main chamber. Commander Park of the Defiant stood beside Captain Sung and Gill as they awaited the Confederation representatives. The human officers wore formal blue uniforms adorned with silver Earth emblems, simple yet dignified. "They're arriving," Lieutenant Kim announced quietly. The door across the chamber slid open, revealing Captain Dano and three other aliens, each from a different Confederation species. Their physical differences were striking. One floated on anti-gravity discs, another moved with 6 limbs in perfect coordination, while the third seemed to shimmer between solid and translucent states. The tallest alien stepped forward. "I am High Counselor Ren of the Galactic Confederation. This meeting is unprecedented in our history. Captain Sung inclined his head respectfully.
We appreciate your willingness to meet. I am Captain Sung, representing Earth's United Government.
The delegates took their places around a circular table. The atmosphere was tense as both sides studied each other.
High Counselor Rin spoke first.
For 8 centuries, the Confederation has maintained order in this sector.
No single species has possessed technology that could challenge our combined strength. Until now.
Commander Park noted the careful wording, not a threat, but a statement of how deeply the humans had disrupted their understanding of the galaxy.
Captain Gill responded with calm confidence. Earth does not seek conflict.
We explore space for knowledge and peaceful exchange, but we developed strong defenses out of necessity. The floating alien made a sound like chiming bells that the translators converted. Your weapons and shield technology exceed our most advanced theoretical models.
How did your single world achieve such rapid development? The human representatives exchanged glances before Commander Park answered.
Earth's history is marked by both conflict and cooperation. When our world finally united 80 years ago, we channeled our competitive drive into technological advancement.
Captain Dano's 4 eyes narrowed. Are we to believe you achieved in decades what took other species centuries? Necessity drives innovation, Captain Sung replied.
When Earth's scientists discovered evidence of intelligent life beyond our system, we intensified our development programs. The shimmering alien leaned forward.
And how many warships does Earth currently possess?
That information is classified, Captain Gill said politely but firmly. Just as I imagine the Confederation keeps its military strength private. High Counselor Ren made a gesture with his upper limbs.
You must understand our concern.
The appearance of a previously unknown species with superior technology represents a significant disruption to galactic stability.
Commander Park spoke with quiet authority. We understand completely. In your position, we would have similar concerns.
That's why we propose a formal treaty recognition of each other's sovereignty and establishment of clear communication protocols to prevent future misunderstandings. The discussions continued for hours, moving from cautious positioning to more substantive exchanges. The Confederation representatives gradually realized the humans were sincere in their desire for peaceful relations, despite their obvious military advantage. During a brief recess, Captain Dano approached Commander Park privately. The demonstration your ship provided, he began, mandibles clicking softly.
That was restrained, wasn't it? Park met his 4-eyed gaze steadily. Yes. How restrained?
Park considered her answer carefully.
The Defiant is what we classify as a medium patrol vessel.
Not our strongest ship, nor our most advanced.
Dano's upper eyes blinked rapidly. And if the Confederation had attacked? Earth doesn't seek war, Captain Dano. But we're prepared for any outcome.
When the formal treaty was finally signed, both sides felt they had achieved their essential goals.
The Confederation recognized Earth as a sovereign power with rights to travel through designated corridors of their territory. Humans agreed to share certain non-military technologies and scientific knowledge.
As the human representatives prepared to return to their ships, High Counselor Ren offered a final observation. In all our history, we've never encountered a species like yours, he said. Your advancement is unsettling, yet impressive.
Captain Sung nodded.
Humanity has always been driven to explore, to learn, to grow. We look forward to peaceful exchange of knowledge with the Confederation.
Back aboard the Defiant, Commander Park looked out at the massive gas giant. Lieutenant Kim joined her at the viewport. Do you think they'll honor the treaty? He asked.
They will, Park replied confidently.
They're practical enough to recognize the new reality. Within days, news of the humans spread through Confederation space.
Species that had considered themselves the pinnacle of evolution now faced evidence of a single-planet civilization with technology beyond their understanding. Scientists urgently studied the limited data from the encounter while military strategists revised their assessments of galactic power dynamics. Earth had arrived on the galactic stage not as a newcomer seeking admission, but as a power to be respected, perhaps even feared. The age of Confederation dominance had ended, and a new era of interstellar relations had begun. At first contact, aliens shocked by the power of a human battleship. HFY Sci-Fi Story.